in this lesson, what we will do is we'll open a bit the arms and the legs of this character to kind of get him more in an 8 pose. And that will allow us to solve a bit better all these areas. At the moment, as everything is so compressed that it will be really tough to sculpt there and also to do the retopology. So what we will do now is we will open a bit more the arms, open slightly more the legs to have space, as I mentioned, to sculpt and then to do the retopo of all the body. And then after that, once we have the retopo done, we will go back and pose the character in the pose that he has here. So for now, I will come to our character, and the main, I think I can move this around here. I put it in my other monitor, and now what I will do is with pressing Control, and with at the moment I have this square to do the mask, but what I will do here is I will come here to stroke, and I will come to lasso, and keeping symmetry on all the time, I will come here and start masking this over. And as you see, most probably I will end masking something that I shouldn't mask. Let me see. This doesn't look so bad. So I will come now again from the back and mask this here. Then we will, most probably will need to fix a lot of stuff here. And I will come and change to our freehand masking. And I will try to get this line a bit more. There we go. In a stage like this, I like to mask until the shoulder itself. So, and I will put the pivot here. And then this will break a bit, like the shape, but then we will need to resculpt. Most probably, always when you pose a character, you will need to resculpt some of the areas because it's not a proper joint that we are doing. So for this, what I would do is I will come here, and as you see here, we have at the moment only one polygroup. So I will come here to polygroups, and I will do an auto group to get, not an auto group. It's like I will group mask here. And now what we will have is we will have this as a different polygroup. So what this will allow us is to later select these like much easier, right? So for example, if now I go out from the mask, I can come here, and if I press Ctrl Shift, I can isolate this, and for example, now I can check if, I masked some things wrong. So what I will do for that is I will come here, I will come to display properties, double, and so now I can see a bit better. See, there are some areas that I masked that they were wrong. So for this, now that I have this isolated, I will press Ctrl Shift again, and I will come to my stroke again and do the lasso tool. With the Ctrl Shift, if I do this and it's in green, it will isolate that area. But if I do Ctrl Shift Alt, this will get in red, and I will mask out some of the things and hide some of these areas. And I will do the same with this one here. See what I mean? That we need to start posing this in a bit more an open pose, because this gets really tricky to edit. So now that I come here, let me see how is this. If I press Ctrl Shift and I slide the mouse, we have this. See, for example, all these errors, we will need to fix it once we open the arms, right? So I think once I'm more or less happy with this, I will do an auto group. So now this change to another color, and then I will switch like this and do an auto group again. And now we have these as different polygroups. So let me see. I will come now. If I come here, I will select this. But see, as you see now, as we did the auto groups, now these are different polygroups, right? So what I want to do is I will press Ctrl F again to see a wireframe. And then here I will, with a brush selected, I will come here and there we go. Yeah. And hide this and then unhide this one. Sorry, I will do like this. I will mask all this and hide and then invert this, pressing Ctrl and pressing just a click on anywhere in the viewport. And now I will do group mask. Okay, so now we have these groups here. And I'm having an issue there. So let me do this. Oh, so I will do this one, and invert it and group visible. There we go. So now we have our nice arm selected. And I will do the same with the legs at the moment. So if I press Ctrl and I will come now to our lasso again. And I will come here and mask all this. Ctrl and Alt to unmask. Let me see. I will unmask some of this area here. And here I will leave the butt a bit less mask. So, but yeah, let's do like this. Let's mask everything until the butt here. And make sure that we mask all this here. There was no mask. So here I have this issue. So what I would do again is I would press Ctrl, come here, freehand, and with Ctrl Alt, I will unmask all this area. So now that all this is unmasked, later once we have our topology done, we will do polygroups with UVs. But for now, this might do a trick. So we come here. Let me unmask a bit more. Like that is okay. And I will come here and group mask. And now we have these polygroups for the torso, for the arms, and for the legs. So now the first thing I will do is I will come to the arms and using, once we have our gizmo selected, I will come here, press Ctrl in one of the areas, and then I will press X to smooth this selection. Okay, so as you see here, this is not so sharp, because if we do it super sharp and then we want to rotate this will like do some weird stuff. So I won't go like super soft, but I will press a couple of times X. And then for this, I prefer to use, instead of this gizmo, I prefer to use the transpose tool. So if you press Y, you switch, as I mentioned before, from the gizmo to the transpose. And for this one, what I do is I come here, select from the joint, come to the arm here, and press from here. If you are in, for example, at the moment we are in move, right? So we don't want this. What we want is to rotate, and we will open slightly the arms and see what I said. Like, as I mask until the shoulder, until the deltoid, like you can see that it kind of feels like a soft and natural movement, right? If I would mask from here, for example, like, and I wouldn't include the deltoid, it will break the shape of the arm. So like this, I have like a more natural thing. Then for sure we will need to edit the pec here, the pectoralis, so it kind of you can feel that it's still connected to the humerus. But at the moment, like this is good. And what I would do also is I would move slightly the arms a bit forward. And I think that with that will be okay. Again, as I mentioned before, I will need to fix this stuff a bit, but I think this is good for now. And then I will do the same with the legs. I will just, while being in the transpose, I will press Ctrl and select the legs. Press X a few times. And let me see if I mask like this, how this behaves. If I'm not happy with that, I most probably will mask the glutes. So come here, try to go on the joint. So as we remember, we have the joint of the femur in this area here, right? Like in here. So I will come here. I'm not doing this. If I do this from here, like see, this looks really awkward. So we need to remember where are the joints. And as we see, we have this joint here. I go until the middle of the feet and then open a bit this. Then as I mentioned before, we'll need to fix the stuff. Even we could go a bit higher to not have that so broken. There we go. And then I will do it. I think like that should be okay. And then what I will do is I will fix this pose a bit better because it looks a bit awkward now. It looks that his knees are a bit inside. So I will fix that later while sculpting. But for now, this is what we want to have, like a pose a bit more open to be able to sculpt on this. And then later, oh, that was not the plan. And then later do a proper retop of this. And at the moment, see if you see now we can start fixing this stuff. We have space to do the latimus dorsi in the proper way, not how it was before. And also when we dynamesh at this stage, we won't have so many of these collapsing areas, right? So yeah, I think this is for this lesson, for the posing. Again, we will do a new posing later, a bit more in detail. But for the moment, like I think we're good to go. And I will keep sculpting and I will keep looking at our references as we've been doing, and I will proceed to work on a bit more on the arms now.